So the first one, I got hit with a slap shot. I was standing in front of the net, and I got hit with a slap shot. And it was the first time that I'd ever really got knocked out. And I remember it happening, and I kind of came to, and I was on the ice, and I was just thinking to myself, Jesus, where did that first one, where did that come from? What was that? And then I could kind of feel like a cool breeze. And I sort of took my tongue and I rubbed it up on my teeth to check if my teeth were there. And 2 of the teeth were gone. And then I sort of stuck my tongue through my cheek and realized that my tongue was through my cheek. And that was like, oh shit, I gotta get this fixed. So that was the top one. And then luckily I got the bottom one, and it looks like I got bit by a dog, which is kind of cool. The second one was pretty much the exact same situation, except I think the puck hit something before it got to me. So yeah, I had some practice from the first one, so I kind of knew what was going on.
You said standing in front of the goal. Forgive me, I don't know a lot about hockey, but isn't there a rule that was created after you having stood in front of a goal or something along those lines? They created a special rule because of something that you did.
Yeah, I screened the legendary Martin Brodeur, and basically I screened him the opposite way of how we normally screen, which it also doesn't really make sense because you're trying to screen somebody from seeing something, but you put your back to them, which, I mean, I don't have eyes in the back of my head, so if I'm trying to screen them, they just kind of look around you, and then now you're not screening them. So I just had this thing where a thought came to me, and I was on the bench, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to do it. I just was like, I'm going to do it. So I got out there and I went right directly to the front of the net, and I took my hand, and it's kind of the most simple thing you could ever think of, but I took my hand and I put it in his face, and every time he moved to the right, I'd move my hand to the right, and every time he'd go to the left, I'd put my hand to the left. And I could just remember seeing the guy's eyes, like he was,
Yours?
Yeah, Brodeur's eyes, he was in shock, and then they started to go red like in the cartoons. It was like the boiling point started at the bottom of his whites of his eyes, and then it just went up to the top. And then I knew I kind of had him at that point. And I went to bed that night and woke up the next morning, and there was a rule.
And so,